Peter Charles here, Folk to Fly Fly Fishing. And today we're going to do the Pinhey Special, which is a fly by, what's his name again? Tom Pinhey. And he's from Nova Scotia. So we're going to do that fly, and it's going to be done in sort of more of a steelhead style, and we'll talk about that as we go. So let's look at materials. The hook is 9671. They call for a size 6 in the pattern book, but I only have 4, so we're going to use that. Now, for the record, I don't like to use streamer hooks for standard wet fly swings because I find they don't ride well. They tend to ride butt down. You need to have some speed on them to make them ride closer to level. So normally I would tie this on a low water salmon hook or something of that nature. Our thread is usually the Vivas 80 Black. We're going to use Uni French Gold for the ribbing. The tail is going to be this red dyed goose. Now when it comes to the body, you've got the picture in the book showing chartreuse, but you've got yellow being called for in the recipe. So we're going to use chartreuse because it's a better color for steelhead. The throat is going to be the Silver Doctor Blue. And we're going to use this red squirrel for the wing. So let's get started. Now we tie in our red slip for the tail. And just try and position that. These things always move. I really don't like patterns that use goose slips for tails because they never want to lie straight. And I'll finish that off. Bring our thread back. We'll put in our rib. Now our body material, the wool. Now I gotta make 3 passes with the wool, and we'll take care of that bump that's been created. So I'm just going to put a tight pass here. I'm really pulling on the thread tight, or the wool I should say. Then I back off, which allows it to fluff up. Come back. Again, I'm not putting any pressure on the wool beyond the tightness of the bobbin. When we come back to the bump, I'll start putting pressure on it to flatten the wool to make up for that bump. Then back off the tension. And there we end up with a level body despite the fact we started off with a bump. And I'll taper it down so it's nice and smooth when we tie in the wing and the throat. Okay, now with our rib, we're going to put 2 turns at the back. And here's another opportunity for messing up that goose slip. So we've got to put this on fairly. See, it's already moved. That's why I never like these things for a tail. Okay, now we've got our turns. Now we can come forward. There we go. Now for our Silver Dr. Blue throat. And finally for our wing. We've stacked it. And the wing goes all the way back to the end of the tail. This is one of the benefits of using this 8/0 Vivas thread. I can really crank down on this squirrel so it bites into the hair and it doesn't slip. If you use weaker thread, you can't put the same amount of pressure on the thread and you'll just break the thread, especially if you're using 8/0. But here I'm using the Vivas thread and I can really crank down on it. Yeah, that looks good. And we'll finish. I think I'm going to have to get a new razor blade. Okay, and finally we're going to put our UV on here. And you can see the glow of that body as I hit it with the torch. Okay, there's our Pinhey Special Atlantic salmon fly from Nova Scotia. I've done it with chartreuse as shown in the pattern book, as opposed to using the yellow that was called for in the recipe. And I think using chartreuse, especially a fluorescent chartreuse like this one, makes this a better steelhead fly or a good Atlantic salmon fly on a dull day. You might want to have both types in your fly box, the yellow on a bright day and the chartreuse on a overcast day. So give it a try, the Pinhey Special. Cheers.